Have a look, if you will, at Harold Pohl. He was your very first ever runner-up to the Mr. Olympia title in 1965. Food for thought, he did the same thing the next year. So he was the first two-time runner-up at the Olympia. You guys have requested to me, and you guys always never cease to amaze me on your fantastic requests. You guys wanted to see the top 5 of all-time runner-ups to the Olympia title. Now, how am I going to do this one? I could do it many different ways. I could say who deserved the title more or who was robbed the most. Like Chris Dickerson, 1980. A lot of people say he was better than Arnold. But Arnold, he was like not even 50%. He was way off. So does that make Chris Dickerson, 1980, a great physique? As good as it was, I don't think it would be the greatest runner-up physique of all time. So I am going to, for this video, ignore the champion, whoever won, and I'm just going to basically look at these guys for their time now, who had the greatest physiques. And in 1972, the same thing, I guess, could have been said about Sergio Oliva being robbed with Arnold Schwarzenegger. But aside from that, we're not going to get into that for this video. The point is, 1972, Sergio Oliva was maybe the greatest physique of its time. And that is number 1. And that's how we're going to do this video, guys. So, hope you already have your popcorn popped and things of that nature. But anyway, yes, Sergio Oliva was just outstanding in 1972. And I'm not really going to rank these guys because the decade's so much different. You know, it's going to be obviously the more modern day guys would be better, but they're all great physiques. I mean, Sergio Oliva, like I said, guys, he probably did beat Arnold, and I did make a video on that. So go look for that and find it, watch it maybe, perhaps, and it's pictures only, guys. But the pictures do show that Sergio Oliva had some lines and genetics, let's face it, genetics that you just cannot pick up at the market. You can't go to the, your local supplement shop. Can I have the Sergio Oliva, please? But either which way, that is number 1 on the list. Whether you agree or disagree, I'm sure not everybody's going to agree with my list. And we fast forward for number 2 all the way to 1992. And it is none other than Kevin Levrone, the Maryland Muscle Machine. Kevin Levrone, 1992, guys, was mint. Taking nothing away from Dorian Yates, and I guess that just shows you how good Dorian was, that the second place guy looked like this. Kevin Levrone was just as thin-skinned as he ever was. His back development, things of that nature, were as close as Dorian. I think he should have just kept this going with the condition, not push the size. So he had the condition and the aesthetics and the balance. I don't think he ever had that perfect balance, the lower half, upper half. 1992. 1992, Kevin Levrone, number 2 on the list. And we jump right into the next year. This is Flex Wheeler, 1993, and I'm sure you're thinking at home, but Mark's Max Muscle, you're giving these away too easily, just because it's 2 years in a row. Hey, lightning struck twice. It was Dorian Yates again, of course. 1993, nobody was beating that Dorian, but my soul, there is an argument. Flex Wheeler, he was so very perfect, so aesthetically pleasing, and trust me, for 1993, this was as much muscle as you could ask for. I mean, of course, nobody's seen Dorian coming, but the quads on this guy, the abs, I think 1993 Flex Wheeler is one of the greatest physiques of all time, and definitely deserved to be on this list, top 5 best runner-ups at the Olympia. And then we get controversial. We fast forward all the way to 2001. This is, of course, guys, a cut above the rest. Jay Cutler. I mean, this is before I even got really big. I was just really aesthetic here. I looked good. I think I was good. And he was good. And this is, like I said, to reiterate, this is not meant to discuss whether he was robbed by Ronnie King Coleman. We do not want to upset the Dorianites, or the Colemanites, rather. Very touchy bunch. But yes, aside from that, 2001, even a Colemanite, Dorianite, whoever can admit that Jay Cutler was mint. Every one of these guys was mint. And I very rarely say that, but come on, guys. I can be convinced. 2009, show me some video footage, things of that nature, but I can be also easily convinced that 2001 was by far the best clear winner of all the Jay Cutlers, and he did not win the title. Wow, those are caverns in the abs of Jay Cutler. My soul, those are the deepest abs I've ever seen. So I think it goes without saying, Jay Cutler, 2001, whether he placed second, first, third, fourth, still, in my opinion, one of the greatest physiques of all time, and is number 4 on this list. And that leads us to the final man, 2012, Kai Green. And before you get upset and hit the thumbs down, not that I can see it anyway, I will have an honorable mention for several gentlemen at the end, and I gotta tell you, it was a difficult decision. But I mean, dare I say, Kai Green was at his all-time best here in 2012. And not to say that he was defeating Phil Heath in all the shots or even all the back shots, but to say that you can more than hold your own, in my opinion, he's beating Phil Heath in this back double by. I mean, not too many, if any, no bodybuilders of that time anyway, could beat Phil in that shot. So yeah, Kai Green, 2012. Like I said, there's a lot of fan favorites that I did not mention, but I went over the list several times, and I'm sticking with the 5 that I did. And Kai Green, I mean, come on, look at this. Incredible. I just wish he had stayed lean instead of trying to push the weight. He would have beat Phil eventually, I think. But we don't need to go down to that rabbit hole once again. Wow, this was fun to set up, guys. And of course, there is a couple of honorable mentions. Number 1, Sean Ray. Could have mentioned a couple of years, but I think the 1994 Sean Ray was arguably one of the greatest physiques of all time. I just think the other ones outmanned him just slightly. I think all in their best shapes. I think Kevin and Flex just had his number due to their structures. But again, it's an argument. 1997, another honorable mention. Nasser El-Somebody, I'd put him more in the grouping of guys that maybe should have won the title, because Dorian Yates was way off. We're talking way off in 97. So, by default, does that really make 97 Nasser the greatest physique of all time? He was pretty good. And so was 2007. 2 sevens in a row. 2007, Victor Martinez. Sure, a lot of you guys are going to mention him. But it's all about the scale. You know, Jay Cutler, 2007. With all due respect, hey, I sucked. Yeah, it wasn't that great. Like the 97 Nasser, so. But still, I think Victor Martinez was pretty darn good in 2007. And your last honorable mention, 2017. That's weird. Tominator did a video on that, by the way. You could look that up and watch it. Every 7, there's a robbery. So look forward to that in 2027. Big Rammy. A lot of people said he was robbed, 2017. It was close. We're not getting into that right now. But 2017, Big Rammy was arguably his best physique. He was on. And dare I say, if he looked like this 2020, he would have taken it easily, even more easy than he did the title. The title, that is. So, at the end of the day, aside from who would be the best runner-up, obviously it would probably be Kai or Jay. The greatest runner-up, of all time, Olympia, if I had to choose, it would probably be Flex Wheeler, 1993. I mean, this physique, guys, was revolutionary. Dorian Yates was just more revolutionary, I guess. Just different path. They went down the mass, obviously. They went with the mass instead of the just cartoonish, superhero-ish aesthetics with some mass, too. Jeez, I sold Flex Wheeler on that one. Should have picked Flex, guys. Anyway, like I said, very fun to set this one up. Thank you guys for the excellent requests. Keep them coming. Get this video up to 500 likes, and I will do the next most popular request. Have a great one.
Oh, come on! Subscribe to my channel, please, if you have not already. And if you would like to, check out my latest video as well. You will also find a playlist if you are in the mood. Hey, Billy, find me a way to this hole.